Hey there, ladies and gents, welcome back to Griever Productions. Do forgive the lighting, it is midnight, so I've had to turn on a different light, and I don't like it. I really don't. It's hard to keep this room lit, but this particular light just kind of makes everything look a bit funny when I'm recording, but that's okay. We're here with day, I want to say 5 of the Dan Vasc week. I want to have a look at this one. I wanted to look at this song specifically because I just came out of having a really bad migraine. And I know that this is not going to be a hard song on my head. This song is a brilliant Journey number, one that is absolutely phenomenal. The range in it is absolutely insane. And we know that Dan has an incredible range, but Steve Perry, the way that he approaches his range, I've had quite a few videos on the channel about this. The way he approaches his range is incredibly unique, and there aren't many that can replicate what Steve does. So I'm interested to see exactly how Dan approaches this, if he approaches it in his own way, if he approaches it as Steve would, or somewhere in between. Who knows? Let's find out, shall we? Before we begin, please do leave a like on the video. It really does help if you have not subscribed. I would highly appreciate if you did so. And if you like the channel, there's more ways you can help at the end. So without any further ado, let's have a listen to Dan Vasc singing Stone in Love by Journey. I love this song.
Those crazy nights I do remember in my youth.
Bruh.
I do recall those one-on-one signs most
Hang on. Dan. What? Why do you sound like Steve?
nights I do remember in my youth. I do recall those one-on-one signs most
Okay, now the reason that I say you sound so much like Steve here is the way that he is approaching the notes. Steve does that as well, where it is a very back of the throat sound, but rather than it being like a cavernous, almost classical sound, he kind of pinches it off in a way, and it kind of comes out like this. So rather than the more, a more classical example would be, I do remember in my youth. Whereas the way that Steve approaches it is, I do remember in my youth. And Dan is doing that exactly the same way as Steve does it, which is really quite interesting because that's not usually how Dan sings in his songs. It's even changed the tonality of his voice to be more light. He has a very heavy tone when he sings, so to have that lightness that Steve has, that's so unusual. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh, dude. Dude, that's awesome. That's so cool. It's so hard to stay up in that area of the voice for extended periods of time the way that he is doing it. But he's doing it so well. Like, there's so much proficiency there. I need to have a listen again. Hang on. Okay. Alright, I think I get it. I think what I'm hearing is Dan absolutely swapping between that kind of mixed vocal with chest vocal, which, when he's going into the mixed vocal, is what's giving him that lighter tone, and then it's coming down to the chest voice. The tricky part with this song is how high this is in a chest voice range, in a male range, that you force yourself into that head voice, not head voice, into the mixed voice, sorry, and then you've got to come down actively into chest voice. Now, I don't know if this is the same with everybody, but the thing that I have noticed is that a lot of the time when you're teaching somebody to go into that mixed voice, it is easier to go from chest voice into mid voice than it is to go from mid voice into chest voice. Like, coming down is harder than going up. But he's handling this incredibly well. But that is the difficulty of this song. The "Stun in Love," like, you've got to come back down into that spot there in order to make it sound powerful. Otherwise, "Stun in Love," like, it loses that power if you're too low in that mixed register. The way that he is handling this is so good, and he's definitely done a hell of a lot of study for this.
On dusty roads led to the river, running slow. She pulled me down, running clover, we go wrong, yeah.
Yep, add a little bit of his own grit, that's good. Okay, that's so good. It's so good. And the interesting thing about this song, a lot of people would approach this thinking that holding that "Stun in Love," like holding that higher note, is actually harder than coming down. It's not. It's really not. Stun in love. That part is harder than actually holding that higher note once you're in that mixed voice. The mixed voice is a bit of an anomaly, and I absolutely adore it. I love how he is handling this. He is doing it so well, and yet it's so different from what we hear Dan do most of the time. I'm still intrigued by how much he sounds like Steve in those earlier sections. When he goes into the chorus, it's a little bit different. He definitely puts more of that Dan thing on it, but it is still very similar tonality-wise to Steve, and you don't hear that often. Yeah. Brilliant. That was so good. I will say this, something that's great about this song, if anybody was to ever do it live, is that there is this incredible instrumental section here, which actually gives the vocalist a really, really good break that they can kind of reset and go, all right, yep, sweet, let's get into the next thing. Don't get me wrong, I don't think Dan's the kind of person that needs it, but for those who are less proficient, let's say, than Dan is, but can still sing that song, it is one of those ones that it does give one hell of a break there. And it's why my Stamina, the album that I sing along to for Stamina, to test my stamina rather, is Dream Theater's Images and Words album. And the reason for that is because there are sufficient breaks that you can actually get your voice to kind of reset. And it has lows, it has highs, it has insane vocal in that album, but it has sufficient breaks, and that is super important. A break is super important for your voice to let it rest, let it reset, and then continue on. So
here I am
good.
relaxing a little bit in my office after a hard week of work. This last week I put out 2 videos. And by the way, I would like to thank you guys very much for your support in my latest DistroKid video. You guys are amazing. About that donation, stop thanking me about this. I do not accept those thanks. As I said in the video, it was you who did this. Thank yourself. In fact, you guys are so amazing that some of you are asking me to link the website of the foundation so you guys can donate too. So I thought we could do more than that. How about I make a specific video with that sole purpose of gathering your donations to that foundation? What would you think about that? Would you donate?
This is
enough
cool.
people say that they will donate, I will do it. As you guys know, I'm all about music that gives you power, so you can have yourself an epic day. And this playlist right here of epic 80s covers might do just that for you. See you there.
That's awesome. That's so good. That's so good. Also, I know that Dan is a gamer. I know that he is.
Latest.
But can I just point out, that very much looks like my gaming collection as well. Half-Life, Civilization, SimCity 2000, the original Sims, I believe. I don't think that's Sims 2. I think that's Sims 1. Is that Command and Conquer behind him?
Video. You guys are amazing. About that donation.
Oh no, Time Command. Oh, that's even better. See, Dan, I need to talk to you, my brother. Also, not to mention as well, Red Dead Redemption down here, Red Dead Revolver. Yeah, dude. Amazing. Amazing taste in video games. I like this guy. Alright, let's go into some final thoughts. What do we say about that? Honestly, it's such a hard song. It is incredible. Anything that has Steve Perry latched onto it is incredibly difficult. Even later on, after Steve was done with Journey, his solo stuff, some of that was insane as well, going into songs like Oh Sherry, but the one that always seems to elude me is a song called Foolish Heart. It is a beautiful number with incredibly beautiful vocal. It's not nearly as high as this stuff, but the technique that is required is equal, if not more, in order to actually maintain it, because it is so tender. That's the point of that song, is to really have that emotional connection with the song, and it's so difficult. But Dan has done an incredible job. I'm still so shocked. I think I remember hearing something else that he's done of Journey or of Steve's and thinking the same thing, and I'd completely forgotten about it until right now. But the fact that he sounds so much like him, you can tell that he's looked into Steve. Like, you can tell that he's studied at least a little bit of what Steve does and tried to work out exactly what he does. And it's so nice. It's really nice. But it's still got that Dan grit. It's still got that Dan feel to it. And that is super important. That is fantastic. But yeah, I don't think there's much else to say on this one, to be honest. So thank you guys so much for watching. Like a favorite if you enjoyed. Subscribe. Do all that sort of thing. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed what you saw here today, feel free to go over to Patreon and support us for as little as $3 Australian per month. By doing so, you'll join the list of wonderful people here. Also, if you're into gaming, I have recently rebooted my gaming channel, so feel free to go over there and have a look. Link to both the Patreon and the gaming channel in the description below.